Hi everyone. We're going to write a statement that follows from the given statements and indicate whether the law of detachment or law of syllogism was used. So there'd be a D here, was used. All right. So we have 6 examples. These are the first 4. It says, if Dr. Klein is well rested for a surgical procedure, then she operates with precision. So what you have is a if P, then Q. Dr. Klein got plenty of sleep to prepare for today's operation. So that means she's well rested. So P is true. And so what we're going to write is that means Q is true. So this is a law of detachment. If the hypothesis is true, which is P, then Q is true. So what you write is that she operates with precision. I'm probably not going to write all these. I'm just going to underline what you're supposed to write. So for the next one, number 2, if we don't make any stops, so if P, then we will make it by the stadium by 12:30 p.m. If we make it to the stadium by that time, so that's by 12:30. So if Q, then we should be in time to see the kickoff. So that means then R. So that's law of syllogism. If P, then Q. And if Q, then R, then we have then P, if P, then Q. So what you would write is, if we don't make any stops, so you write that down, and then you write this down. And that's your statement. So let me write it in black. If P, then R. Number 3. In a recreational basketball league, if a player receives 2 technical fouls in one game, then the player is ejected from the game. So we're just saying if a player receives 2 technical fouls in one game, then the player is ejected from the game. If the player is ejected from the game, so now we're using our Q as our hypothesis instead of our conclusion, then the player has to sit out the following game. So what we want to write is if P, then R. That's your law of syllogism, because you have these 2 statements here. The conclusion changes to the hypothesis. So what you're going to write is if the player receives 2 technical fouls in one game, so write that, then the player has to sit out of the following game. And number 4, if the accused suspect has a valid alibi, then the police will not hold him. So if P, then Q. The crime occurred at 9:32 a.m. The suspect's place of business confirms that he was working with 20 other people on that same day. So basically, he does have a valid alibi because it happened here and he was confirmed working. So P is true. That means Q is true. That's law of detachment. And so what you would write is that the police will not hold him. That's your conclusion. And for the next ones, we have 2 more. Even when firefighters follow all relevant safety procedures, if they enter a burning building, so if P, then there's a significant danger involved. So then Q. They do enter the burning warehouse to look for people. So that means P is true. They do enter the burning building. Therefore, Q is true. that means the Q means there's a significant danger involved, and that is your Q. That's what you write down. And finally, for the last one, the store manager knows that if tomorrow's sale is not advertised in the newspaper, then the store will lose money. All right. If P, then Q. If the newspaper does not receive the order for the advertisement soon enough, then they will not be able to put it in tomorrow's newspaper. So, basically on this one, you're going to write the syllogism. So basically, if the newspaper does not receive the order for the advertisement soon enough, so that's Q, then they will not be able to put it in tomorrow's paper. So then our final statement would be if P, then R. So basically what you're saying is the store manager, well, let's just put if tomorrow's sale is not advertised in the newspaper, then they will not be able to, if they do not know, basically, sorry. Let's write it the better way. All right. So what you're going to say is, if the newspaper does not receive the order, so we're going to write this, then the store will lose money. So the store will lose money. And that's how you write that one. All right. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.